let's get down to it. You want to introduce yourself first, real quick?
Yeah. So my name is Gabriel Correa. For you, those of you that don't know, for those of you that do know me, um, I'm Drew's cousin.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20 this past September. But yeah, I mean that's basically. I mean, you guys are gonna find out more about me, deeper into the podcast. But that's basically who I am.
And then, yeah, I'm Drew Velarde. Obviously, we're both cousins and everything. I'm actually 18, and we're just, to make it simple, background, we're pretty much both on the path to hopefully success and just learning through the journey.
Definitely success. Definitely success. Not hopefully, definitely success.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, bro, thank you for bringing this idea. I've been wanting to do something like this for a little bit of time. I just didn't know. I never had, like, we always talk about this, like, I don't really have, like, I don't have many people I could talk about, like, when we talk about our businesses or when we talk about being successful or, like, setting goals for ourselves, we always say, like, oh, man, like, it's crazy because we don't have many people we could talk about this, like, but we have each other, too. But yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this, but I never had someone like that had that same energy or that had that same want. So when you brought that, like, I didn't even bring it up. When you brought that up to me, I was like, oh crap, like that's something I'm trying to, like, definitely, because I have so much to say. I feel like you have a lot to say too as well, and this can be, I feel like this is like the start of something like great, like the platform that you have, but like our journey that we're on is something like it's the start of something great. So I think this documentation that we're doing right now, I think it's going to be pretty cool for people that, you know, have the confidence, don't have the confidence, or wanting to pursue this type of mindset or this type of growth. I think it'll be super beneficial. This, what we're doing will be super beneficial for them today.
Yeah, and then to touch even on what you said about going through, like, people who have the same mindset and, like, fortunate enough, like we actually do and everything, and then it's rare.
Yeah.
It's definitely rare. So that's one thing I will say that's cool, because we're very fortunate to be put in the position we are, and in a sense we're fortunate enough to have, like,
this way.
Yeah, go ahead.
A little bit.
And in a sense we're fortunate enough to have, like, the same struggles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously we come from different life struggles, but yet we could relate in what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the same time, it's like we're both on different journeys, but we're combining to, like, the same path, you know what I mean?
No, definitely, for sure. Doing, like, you're doing the FBA thing, we're both doing the drop shipping, but I have my clothing brand, and yeah, if you guys don't know, got a clothing brand, G+C store. On Instagram, go follow that.
And then the hoodies wearing right now, it's exactly it.
Come on. Full embroidery. You can go check out my socials. I'll explain everything on there. I'm not trying to get too deep into that right now. But yeah, so we're definitely doing different things, but I think anybody that has that, like, goal of success and just wanting a better lifestyle, wanting to truly enjoy life and take advantage of the resources that are available to anyone, they're just, people aren't willing to put in the work to educate themselves about it or figure out how to get there. So yeah, I think anybody that thinks like that or wants to think like that can definitely relate on some sort of connection, you know, like whatever they're doing in life, whether it's real estate or whatever it is, we could all relate to on some level, because we all see the bigger picture. And I think that's what's super cool.
And even talking about, obviously, what people might want to get into, and then, like you said, you do your clothing brand or whatever. Even as you mentioned, through Amazon and everything, I do what's called Amazon FBA. For anyone that's unfamiliar, Amazon FBA.
Go into your background, bro. Like, definitely, let's definitely give a little people a generalization of what we do, so that way maybe that might pique. So maybe they might want to hear a little bit more about that.
Going into, so let's start, obviously, the businesses, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, Amazon FBA, for those, like I said, who are unfamiliar, it's pretty much just, in a nutshell, it's literally just buying wholesale, selling on Amazon. Um, that's literally just making it super simple. That's all it is. But there's different ways. Obviously, you could do it through finding other wholesalers, or you could do it from just simply going to store, buying products that are maybe even on sale and flipping them that way. That's a very much harder way, and obviously it's not very practical.
Yeah,
Because
that's I
then
see how people be going to like Marshalls and stuff.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
yeah.
Walmart, Costco.
You can do that, but then it's just the whole goal of everything we're doing is time. We want more time freedom. That's the reason we
Yeah.
want to, because there's a certain level of success and money we want to have, but the reason is because we want to have more time to utilize, even
Yeah.
just for our lives in general, and genuinely just enjoy. You know what I mean? So, but going back on topic, yeah, so that's another way to do it. And then a third way is just pretty much private labeling. It's where you just get your own products through, like, let's say a Chinese service like Alibaba or something like that.
Like
Slapping your brand on that, and
Yeah.
then obviously selling them obviously at a markup price.
Yeah.
That's also a way to do it. Don't get me wrong. If you find a winning product, definitely that's definitely a way to utilize it. It's just a lot harder. You got to do a lot more when it comes to ads, marketing. Instead of just utilizing Amazon, you got to utilize everything else. Because what's cool about Amazon is that it gives you a platform already.
Yeah.
It gives
and
you
it's a trusted
credible
platform.
Exactly.
Everybody goes to shop on Amazon. Like,
Exactly.
I, including myself, and I don't question who it's coming from.
Yeah.
I just because I know it's gonna get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's definitely super cool. I bet that's definitely. So that's one thing that I brought up to you when I was wanting to get into FBA was how. That's like the main thing that stuck out to me was that the fact was the platform was so trusted. It was like it didn't make sense not to try it.
Of course.
So no,
And
it's super cool.
So now that I said that, so just kind of explain your clothing brand. Explain your business a little bit more.
So basically, what I do, I have a clothing brand, and then along with Drew, I have we do drop shipping, online drop shipping, basically just taking products from like AliExpress, Alibaba, finding a winning product that's very it's not as easy as it sounds as we thought it was before we got into it. It's definitely takes some time to source a winning product, but yeah, you source a product, create a website around it, and then just like he said, market it, and you go from there. You see if it's a successful product, and if it's not, then you learn from the mistakes that you made and try harder the next time. But yeah, so that's what we do. And then I run a clothing brand. I've been doing that for about a year now. It's been amazing, really. I have a deep passion for clothes. I've always wanted to do it. I just wanted to do it the correct way. Like all throughout high school, I wanted to start a clothing brand, but I wanted to do it the right way. So I think that's why I never started one until now. And I think this like timing is everything, bro. I always say that, like, timing is everything. And I think it was meant for me to start it now because of the things that I know and the things that like I took time to know and figure out. It helped me put out a product that I'm super satisfied with, and I can sell confidently.
Yeah.
And bro, like I told you, like I made 40 of these, bro, and I was selling them at like 110.
Yeah.
And I have 5 hoodies left now.
And then even on that 110 price point, it's like it's not like it's just a random price point that it's like, oh, because I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, like
there's
the
reasons
price,
behind
the,
it.
The
yeah.
pricing, bro, was definitely not something that was just like, oh, I'm gonna charge 110 because I can get 110.
Yeah.
Like these hoodies, bro. These hoodies cost me what like an average hoodie costs.
Yeah.
A consumer.
Exactly.
Like when you go to like Target or Tilly's or Zoomies or anywhere in the mall, really, and you're gonna pay $40 to $50 for a hoodie.
Yep.
That's what that cost. Like around that, bro, is what it cost me to make these.
Yep.
Like and that's bulk, and I'm getting bulk. Like that's and these they're not blanks, bro. I'm measuring out every piece of the clothing. I'm making my own tech packs. I'm making my graphics. I'm not going on Google and getting the spiders and the webs. I'm making them on Illustrator. Like I'm actually getting hands on and everything throughout. Like I hand steam each order before it's packaged. Like things like that. Like I have like I care, and I have the interest to make sure every part of the process is the way I would want it for me. So that's what I take into consideration for my pricing.
Honestly, going back into like how you said like clothing obviously was like your passion and everything, like that's something you always wanted to do.
Yeah.
That even applies to like say for instance, obviously we got the businesses, you know what I mean? We got our things going on, but as well as I do acting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty much I've tried to dive deeper in that field and just kind of get a feel for it, because that's something I always felt like that was pretty dope and something that was passion oriented, not necessarily just for the money. So that always is something I think about though too, where there's a difference between your passion and what you do for money. I feel like when it comes to money, these businesses, it's like this is to make yourself like financially free, and just makes life enjoyable.
Yeah.
It makes it like I feel like this is kind of a necessity. I feel like a lot of people, it doesn't necessarily have to do what we do, but find a source where you can definitely skyrocket your income that's out of the ordinary, because you can't be rich from just doing ordinary things that everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
That's not how it works in life.
No, exactly. And people are not aware of that, bro. Like,
yeah.
And some people aren't even ready to hear that.
Nope.
People are not even ready to hear that. Like, you could tell somebody that they might think that they're doing the most, but realistically they're just stuck in the like ugliest.
Yeah.
cycle.
And then but even like directing back to the passion aspect, a lot of people say it goes both ways. It's follow your passion or fuck your passion because you need to get money. Now, how I think of it is honestly, you could do both. You can be happy with your passion and you could do business. You just got to focus. Like, you got to really double down and focus. Don't neglect one.
What success is to you. Like, success doesn't have to be millions and millions of dollars.
So, what I would personally say success is, it's providing for my people. That's what I view success as. I want to be to the point where I won't have to worry about nothing. It's just whatever I do, I will come out on top, and I will be able to provide for my family and I. But not just the regular like a wife, a kids, it's some like 3 kids, a dog, a cat. You know what I mean? Like not that, some white picket fence. No, none of that. Like, I want to make it where not only myself but my family as well just will never have to struggle. They will never.
Generational.
Well, let me put it this way. My future kids, I want them to struggle, but to an extent, obviously, because I feel like that does, in fact, it builds character, it builds growth. But I mean, as in like, they will never have to worry about like being homeless or being like always wondering where like their next meal is gonna come from. But obviously,
a roof over their head.
Exactly. But I wouldn't want to go too much and spoil them, because no, like they definitely need to build some character, make some mistakes on their own, and they're not gonna be born no matter what wealth comes into the picture. They're not even gonna really experience that. You know what I mean? So, but back to what I define success as is just simply being able to look after my people. That's what it comes down to.
No, that's definitely something I would say that defines mine as well. Definitely just being able to utilize my time how I want to, being stress-free, and not having to always worry, like, financial-wise. I think I've seen a lot of people in my family worry, like, financially.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have that burden. I wanted to be able to do things with my family, for my loved ones, without having to, like, oh, let me check my bank first, or like, oh, I get paid here and there. Like, I want everything, like, my money's working for me, making me money. I'm enjoying my time with my family. That's what success is to me. So no, I definitely feel you for sure.
And so another thing is, so let's talk about mindset going into everything.
Yeah.
Let me think. So pretty much, obviously, it's more than just being a, like, quote unquote entrepreneur. You know what I mean? It's not just, okay, getting after it, getting money. It's like there's a certain way you kind of have to live your life, and a certain way you kind of just have to think of everything. Like, once we're off this, literally just make it simple, and then
you can't fuck around.
Yeah,
you take shit. Be mindful of how you're spending your time. Like, if you're fucking just scrolling on TikTok all day, like, you don't expect to
Yeah.
be successful because
It's
successful people don't scroll
yeah.
TikTok all day.
And it's like we'll go on these laptops, whatever. We'll do our work, but at the end of the day, when we're done, what else are we doing like with our time? You know what I mean? It's like we always want to keep things flowing. We always like. I'm not saying be a workhorse, be on the shit 24/7. You know what I mean? But I mean, you have to just how do I put this? You have to live your life where it's meaningful and you could tell you're trying to get to somewhere. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You don't want to just be
So
just
how for
fucking
example,
off.
let me so some things that I do kind of to keep myself in a certain mindset throughout the day, like like obviously when I'm sitting in front of the computer and I'm doing work, I'm going. I'm in that mindset where I'm going. But things that I do outside of that to keep that going, it's like, bro, first thing I do, wake up, I don't check my phone, bro. Like I don't look at my phone. I don't get that dopamine from my phone. Like first thing I do, bro, I go shower.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to God, bro, talking to myself, and I'm just thinking, being thankful for everything, bro. Like the smallest things, like just being thankful for being able to take a long shower, a hot shower, being able to be able to do whatever I want with the day, or if I have plans that day, being thankful to be able to do that, being thankful to be like free with my like shit like that, like small shit, and I find that when I do those like small little moments of being thankful and affirmations in the morning, I find that like I don't find myself like encountering those like those little rough moments throughout the day, or like moments of discouragement, because I'm being constantly reminded of, bro, I have so much to be thankful for. Like, why am I gonna let this little moment fuck up my mood or like get me out of the zone? And then like journaling, bro. Journaling is a huge thing that I do as well every day. Not every day. I try to do it every day, but if not every day, every other day. And those same thing as well, bro. It's like a breakdown of how my day went, and then it ends with like a conversation of me and God, just being thankful of everything I went through for the day, good and bad, learning experiences. Just I try to always remind myself to be thankful, bro, because I feel like if you can appreciate the little things and you can like accept all of that, like all the bad stuff, like not being like, oh, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Like not being like a Debbie Downer, as people
just
say.
Just looking at it as like the
like
glass half full.
Yeah, being thankful and being positive, bro. Like I think that's how you get the world to give that back to you. Like you get good things by being thankful for the small things.
Yeah.
Then you start getting those big doors being open.
And going off that thought alone, it's really a matter of just being in tune with your mind. Like you understand what you want to really understand what you want. You want to understand the motivators behind everything. You want to understand why do you do what you do. And obviously, like you said, it's more than just a religious aspect when it comes to prayer. It's more so, it's just like
and I don't mean like you have to be Christian.
Yeah,
like,
no, like you could,
I do believe though. Like I don't believe everybody has to believe in something, but I do believe that if people have something they can just go to any moment of the day and vent and just talk to and have that connection with, whatever it is, I think that's something super important.
Yeah, and it because at the end of the day, it makes you feel like you're not alone in this journey, no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's because it's always someone you could talk to, and you could reassure yourself as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's more so one of those things, like it can always help you more than it can hurt you. What could really go bad? You know what I mean? It's like it offers kind of another helping hand and puts your mind at ease and kind of makes you go confident going forward. You know what I mean? So I feel like just thinking, like even in general, like whatever anyone's beliefs are, I feel like thinking there is something like higher up, it's always a good thing in general, because it can't hurt you, and you always think like, okay, I could get guidance from this. I could set these morals, and it's gonna help me along the journey more than it's gonna defeat me.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree with that for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I feel like one thing we should talk about, like you said, getting up in the morning is laziness. Oh yeah. And then obviously doing everything we got to do in a day. It's how would you say you get over laziness?
Like, bro, I just know that like I just don't fucking be lazy.
Yeah.
Like
like that. You can't.
I
Yeah.
just don't fucking I know, bro. Like there's shit that needs to be done, and if I don't do it, no one's gonna do it for me.
Yeah, and
it's just a simple truth. Like,
it's like I said earlier too. When we're talking one-on-one, just we only get one life on this earth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
why would you be late? Like why would you spend that hour laying in bed scrolling
yeah,
on TikTok?
exactly.
Like when you could just you can actually put that time to use.
Yeah, and that's an hour you're never gonna get back.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
bro.
Like
and we don't know how long we're here.
Yeah, you're only
nobody knows how long we're here.
Exactly. You're only gonna be 20 once. You know what I mean? I'm only gonna be 18 once in my life. Like, no matter what year it is, we're never getting that back. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's spend our time utilizing what we gotta do, and then
and getting up early too.
Yeah,
super helpful as well. I used to get up super fucking late, bro.
Yeah, it's really a matter of just creating a schedule for yourself.
Yeah, bro.
I feel like everyone
getting
needs a
schedule,
whiteboard,
bro. If you don't have anybody wants to get on their shit and get on track, bro, I recommend getting a whiteboard and a notebook.
And then just setting goals for yourself.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Map your month out.
Yep.
And write shit down and look at that shit every morning, every day, every night. Like, just constantly remind yourself what needs to be done and do it.
Yeah, and then
mark shit off. And then another thing too is like when I write shit down, bro, like I'm not gonna write it and then not fucking do it.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna look at that whiteboard and be like, oh fuck, I didn't do this, not do it tomorrow. Like, no, bro. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I have to do it. Like, otherwise, I feel like defeated. Like, and even more towards my business or anything that I have to do regarding any of my businesses. I feel like if I say that we're gonna do something or I have to do something, like we have to do it.
And
because if we don't, that's just that's just one step. That's just one day longer it's gonna take us to be successful.
Yeah. And we don't do it. What I was gonna say, even with all that, it's it may seem like a lot. It may seem like it sucks at first, but really, it's just doing what you got to do, and at the same time it's creating like a calloused mindset. The more you do it, the more repetition you're gonna the more repetition you do, it's gonna become easier. You know what I mean? It's honestly, it's not always gonna be hard.
If it sucks, bro, if you find that like oh I hate this, and maybe you need to do is like people need to do some self-reflection on like, bro, like what else are you doing with like there's so many bad habits and shit that the world has out there for us, like traps that people fall into, and that it's like fucking your body up, like fucking you up, and you don't even know it. So it's like you try this shit out, and you feel like, oh, bro, I don't want to get up early, I don't want to journal, I don't want to I don't want to figure out how to be like, bro, that's all shit you should want to do. Like, you should get excited about doing this shit. And if you don't, then you should really take a look at how you're spending your time and what you're doing with it.
Even with you said, like, when it comes to, like, something's fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, that could be kind of deciding what you do in a day and just kind of altering your mindset. I feel like a lot of things come down to what are your inner emotions? Like, are you running from your problems, or are you actually dealing with them? Because I feel like really the only way you can actually grow as a person in life and actually do what you got to do, all those fucked up feelings in the past and everything you feel that you just keep running away from, and responsibilities, I feel like you just got to you just literally got to lift them from under the rug, dig them up, and you got to kind of accept it for what it is, you know what I mean? Accept whatever is happening, whatever, like what kind of person you are, or even shit that's out of your control, you know what I mean? And you got to forgive and accept whatever it is, and that way you can go on with your life. Because forgiving isn't even for the other person or for whatever. It's for yourself, so you can actually grow as a person. You know what I mean? So it really comes down to just getting your own self right before you can actually continue with even stuff like this, a business or your passion or whatever. Because you got to get your own mind right before you can work on getting even somebody else's, or even just pursuing a life of fulfillment. You know what I mean?
No, because that's so factual. Because every time I try to tell people like oh, like what do you try to do like outside of work, or like what do you try, like, oh, do you ever have like thoughts of doing something like when I'm at work, you're like, oh, do you ever have thoughts of doing something bigger than this shit? Yeah. And they'll be like, oh, it's so hard. Like, I have so much going on. Like, life's just so hard. And I'm like, bro, bro, if I could sit you down and tell you some shit that like about my life, and you'd be like, oh fuck,
literally,
and I'd be like, yeah, bro, but I'm still making shit happen because life's still going on. Like, and you could be going through whatever it is, bro, but some like the sun's still gonna set. And then if we're thankful, hopefully God blesses us again for another day. The sun will rise. Like, shit's gonna keep going. Time will keep going, no matter how sad you are, no matter how like depressed you want to be. Like, time's gonna keep going. So like I always see people like hold those like oh, like I want to do it, but like I have so much going on.
It comes down to a thing stressed. Of where,
I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, bro, get that shit. Like, you gotta get going, bro. Like, what are you wasting time for?
It comes down to a thing of people. When people have problems in their life, they like to dread on it. You know what I mean? People like to dread on it. People like to stay stuck in one single place in their life. But really, it's like, you got to use that as motivation. You know what I mean? Bro. It's like, I don't want to be stuck. And you got to look at it not be stuck. You want to not be stuck.
But be like a problem solver.
Yeah.
People try to be like, oh, like, I can't move on because I don't know how to solve this problem. Like, I don't know how to solve this issue. Like, maybe you don't need to solve this issue. Maybe, like, bro, you can only handle what you have, like what you can handle.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have like accessibility to handle like the whole entire problem, you only can handle like this portion of it. Bro, handle that portion and move on.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't handle how that person's gonna act, or like you can't control.
It applies to it's always easier to change yourself than somebody else.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Bro. Like, fix what you can fix and move on.
Exactly.
Because if you choose to just dwell on shit and let it eat at you, bro, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Like, let's even say, like, for instance, everybody can relate to unless like you're super young. Everybody can relate to having a job, and it's like, oh, like there's this manager I don't like. He treats me like an asshole, or like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a dick. And it's a matter of, okay, look, it's either you can dread on that and you could be like, oh, like this sucks. I hate this job because this or that. But it's really a matter of, okay, you say that, but yet you're still going to it. Do something about it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro,
you know how many people fucking hiring right now?
Yeah.
Leave and get another fucking job. Like, I literally told someone that the other day on my job. Like, they were like, oh, I hate, like, I'm so tired of coming in here. Like, this shit's annoying, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, get a new job. Like, just get a new job. Like, if you don't like the environment you're in, or if you don't like what you're doing with your time every day, then change it. Because you have that, like, you can do that. Like, you can do something about that. Change it. People just like to complain.
Exactly. Like, and you can't use these things as like demotivators, you know what I mean? Like, you can't look at it as like, oh, like, oh, so someone said this about me, and I'm like, oh, like no, you can't, like, don't try to always defend it and like, look, why do you think they're saying it? You know what I mean? Like, if someone is telling you, like, bro, like, nah, like, you suck at this, or you're bad at this, or like, I think this, like, obviously sometimes it's like what the fuck, like, you feel like it's bullshit, but don't react with emotion. You know what I mean? You want to really use it, be like, okay, dive deep inside yourself and think, okay, like, is there truth to what they're saying? You know what I mean? Is there really truth? And if there's not, then okay, like, so be it. Like, fuck it. Like, just prove them wrong. You know what I mean? But it's like, you don't gotta prove. It's not a matter of proving shit to anyone. It's proving it for yourself. You know what I mean? Just improve on yourself, so that way nobody could really talk shit.
No,
you know
exactly. What I mean? And I definitely have I've done a lot of learning from that, for sure. Having a brand, like, I'm always hearing people's opinions.
Yeah.
And like, before I would take them into consideration, but then I realized, like, as long as I'm doing shit right on my end, and I know that, like, I'm not, like, out here cutting corners or fucking up or trying to do people dirty or some shit, like, I'm doing shit 100% every single time, every single step, no fuck ups, then I don't need this. Like, I could take your opinions and respect them, but I need to learn how, like, you don't need to interact with people, like, every single time.
Yeah.
Like, you could just let them speak, and then your actions are gonna make them feel some type of way more than what your response would have. So, like, that's what I definitely have done a lot more, because I was one to, like, like, oh, you think this? Well, fuck you, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I realized, like, what am I? I'm not gaining shit from that.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not. And maybe I did need to fix some shit.
Yeah.
But now that I realize, like, bro, let me just take the time to learn shit and make sure I'm not fucking up. So that way, when people got something to say, it's just them saying shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it has no real value unless I let it have value.
And you
And
know,
that's something people can't do. Like,
yeah, yeah.
controlling whether, like, it's like a switch, whether to let people's opinions have value to them or to not let them have value to them.
And you know what that ties into? Let's go into even what you want to talk about that you mentioned to me was self-confidence.
Yeah.
It really ties into when you're going into everything in life, either that, whether that be just with stuff like this, your own brand, girls, whatever, you know what I mean? You gotta have self-confidence. That's a thing you have to have in every aspect of life, because if you don't even have confidence in yourself, why is somebody else gonna have confidence in you?
No, exactly,
you know what I mean?
bro, for sure. I think I remembered, fuck, I forgot who told me the story, but it was like some dude was running a business, right? Like, it was like a couple of dudes, and there's like a manager.
Yeah.
Or he was like a busser, like the person that cleans tables.
Yeah.
And like, he would do it so well, and then he would always like sit and talk to like the owners of the business, and he was like, oh, I love the establishment, like I feel like we could do this, I feel like we could do this, and maybe this would happen, maybe this would happen. And here and there they take into consideration what he had to say, and then they'd actually see improvement. And then eventually they kind of moved him up to like the manager of the restaurant or whatever, like just a regular manager. And then and they kind of started taking his like ideas into consideration more, because he was so confident, and he took the time to, like, obviously he's working there so long, so he took the time to like actually do an analyzation of how things are working in the establishment, and what would have what effect on what and shit like that. So he kept giving them ideas of how to improve the business and shit like that. But it's the fact that he had confidence.
Yeah.
And he would approach the businessmen, and actually, like, most people would never stick out in their place of business like that. Like, nobody would speak like, oh, I have a, like, oh, this sounds like a good idea to improve the business. Like, they would never have that confidence to speak up.
Yeah, and what you're saying like that, it's like you always want to be kind of looking at opportunities. You want to open that door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's say for instance, you get a chance to talk to someone who owns this business. Maybe you like this business. Maybe it just makes a lot of money, or someone that's obviously doing better than you, right? A lot of people think they're too cool to even like ask questions, or just be like yo, like how did you do this? Just ask questions. Be just be curious. You know what I mean? Never be too cool for something, because it's like, bro, you never know what you could learn. And then, for instance, like you said with that, how they just kept giving ideas.
And eventually they were opening a franchise in another state, and they had him and go and take that over. Yeah. And it all was because he had the confidence in himself to not only articulate these plans to display to the business owners, but to be able to approach the business owners and actually have that conversation with them takes a certain level of confidence as well.
No, of course.
So having that was confidence allowed him to move up in life, and now I forgot who told me that story, but it was pretty cool. I actually really liked it. That just made that hearing that made me like change the way, not like I was already confident. I've always been a confident person in myself, and the way I carry myself, everything I do, I've always been confident. Yeah. And I think I'm confident because I take the time to learn things.
Of course.
I take the time to educate myself. So, and I think when anybody does that, when you take the time to learn things, you take the time to educate yourself, you can be confident. Unless you're out here not, like, you're just talking out your ass, bro, you're not learning shit, you're not taking the time to educate yourself, then you really shouldn't be confident, because someone's going to call you out on this shit.
And let's touch deeper into that, because like you said, like, you're obviously educating yourself and everything. So let's talk about self-growth for a second. It's like every day you constantly want to just, like you said, educate yourself. You know what I mean? You really want to create. All this is created through having a solid foundation. You really just you really want to be sponge-like in everyday life, and just even from people that you see in everyday life, there's always a lesson to be learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if don't ever be arrogant and think like, oh, okay, like, I'm not gonna listen to them because I know more than them, or just being ignorant like that. You know what I mean?
Being younger people, I feel like a lot of young people think like that to older people.
Mm-hmm.
Like young people have like a hard time listening to older people, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but those are the people that have been through it and know like how shit works.
Of course.
Especially with business, like older people are like bro, you know what I mean? Old people that I've met that are just rich out the ass, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And they know so much and put me on so much game, and I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of young people miss out on game, bro, because they're either disrespectful or don't take the time to talk to older people like that. Like, and I think being at my job has definitely. I'm not gonna announce my job and shit or anything,
of course.
but being at my job, a lot of people come in every day, and a lot of business people come into my job.
Yeah.
And it's definitely allowed me. Like I always have conversations with people every day.
Yeah.
And I'll see people use a business debit card.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them what they do for a living, and it's super cool. I've met so many different people that do so many different things, and they all had something different to say and how they got there.
And just simply putting it, you never know. Just as you're asking questions and everything, like you never know what could open a window of opportunity.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, man. I told you how I met that dude that does graphic design.
Yeah.
At my job, and now that's like a possible contractor for our marketing company.
It's really just a matter of just being friendly with people. Just don't be an asshole. You know what I mean? Like you never know who you could actually talk to.
Treat everybody with a certain level of respect.
Yeah.
Bro. Like if you want to be given that level of respect, treat people with that level of respect, and that should just be a rule you should carry on with life. Like and that's another thing too I wanted to touch on with like having like just going like a good routine every day is like everyday life. You should just give people the best version of you. Give a good attitude, be kind, be respectful, and bless people as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like if you have the opportunity to bless somebody, bless them. Yeah. Because as much as you bless people and as kind as you are to people, is that's how much you're gonna receive it back.
And it all comes down to the little things. You know what I mean? Yeah. It all depends. Like even for instance, when I came here, it's just like look, your room's all set up nice. You know what I mean? It's like get up in the morning, and as soon as you're up, just start doing the little things. Clean up your room. You know what I mean? Clean up your room. Go straight away. Go brush your teeth. Eat a nice breakfast or something. You know what I mean? Just get the basics out the way. And it's gonna
Bro, people
it's gonna set you up.
And I'll tell you.
People think they're too cool for reading.
Yeah. Like, or they got nothing to gain from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's because we're so overstimulated on this.
Yeah.
It's really because we're like we got TikTok and everything like that, and Instagram and don't get me wrong, I be on Instagram and TikTok, but I feel like now I only be on there just for my business.
Yeah,
like I'm only posting on my business.
There's a lot of people who are still stuck in that mindset of I gotta impress other people. I gotta post this, post that, and it may not even become that. It's just like they're so addicted to it. Their personality is just online, and they think they're so cool. But it's like, bro, like. It's bigger than that.
People can't even afford to keep up that lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a whole other different lifestyle. When that camera's off, it's like
it
different.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, I'll see girls at my work and they're talking about like, oh, my bank account's in the negative. I'm in the negative.
It's all a mirage. It's not real. You know what I mean?
And then, bro, then on Instagram they're like living it up. And I'm like, bro, like, and the crazy thing is, I put so much game. I give so much game to people at my work.
Yeah.
And nobody's receptive to
it.
Like,
but
not one person has like I always offer people, bro. I come like an hour early to work, bro, to work on my shit, and not one person was like, oh, bro, like how could you were talking about this? Like, how could we start? Like, how could I start this, bro? How could I do this, bro? And blah blah. And it's not the fact that you have to. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do nothing. You could completely be on the same path you're doing right now. I'm not here to say anybody's doing the wrong path, but I am saying that there's something called the rat race, and a lot of people are stuck in it.
And you know, it's crazy that even people who are receptive to this knowledge and who do want to learn, I feel like it's interesting to see how many people in everyday life actually don't think of these things. Like, let's say like the regular 9 to 5, like they think of it as like, oh, I'm planning to go to work here for a while. I don't know how long I'm going to work here, but I obviously just want to keep getting money, keep getting raises. Okay, you know what I mean? Like more power to you. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I'm going to try to put you on game if you don't want to be receptive to it. No big deal. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's going in one ear out the other.
Like, why are you working? Oh, why you work there? I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I'm working here, bro. Like, you need to figure some shit out.
Yeah.
You should have some type of level of enjoyment to what
Exactly.
you're doing. And that's another part of, like, my whole thing of success is, like, I want enjoyment in what I do.
And you know what? Actually, going on the topic of how you said it's to pay the bills, I believe working a job, in a lot of ways, it's important to, while we're young especially, it's very important to not only work jobs just for the bills or whatever. It's important to build up your skill set. You
Yeah.
really, I feel like right now I'm at the point in my life where the jobs I am working now, and even going forward to the ones I will, it's to develop skills that I can use in, for instance, like my business, or even in acting in some cases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just develop skills that you can use in a lot of different
they're
things.
Gonna be beneficial.
Because you're gonna be more valuable as a person as a whole.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and that's another reason why I liked my job, bro, is because I'm definitely working on my people skills and talking to people, keeping fluent
Exactly.
conversations, being able to give out kindness and the best version of me every day. Like, that's my job. Really helps me with that as well. And then connection as well. I'm able to meet so many cool people. So it definitely, I agree 100%. If you're not happy with your job, or you're looking for a job, like, definitely keep that in consideration. Try to find something that is, like, not only like paying your bills, whatever, but it's teaching you something as well, like something that's going to be beneficial for you, or end goal, or for steps towards your end goal.
Yeah.
But
and you know, something I thought of though, you know how you're saying how everybody's stuck in the phones and everything.
Yeah.
Really, that's what I have even written down. It's just our generation has so many bad habits that previous generations don't even think about or really evaluate, like that we have. You know what I mean? Not necessarily us individually, but in general, a lot of people nowadays that are our age are so caught up with their phones, or have these terrible habits where they literally they can't even get off their phones. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I feel like a lot of people have this level of ADHD.
Right now, in the middle of this video, pause it and go to your settings, check your screen time. Go to your settings, check your screen time, and that's gonna tell you something right there. 100%, it's gonna tell you something right there. And a lot of people aren't gonna be happy with that.
And don't get me wrong, if you're more successful and you have a lot of screen time, however, it can be utilized to your benefit, because you just got to check what it's being used for. You know what I mean? If it's just a bunch of bullshit like Instagram, TikTok, fucking just dumb anything shit, like that, just literally dumb shit, or games. Fucking, if you still have games on your phone right now and you still play like that,
bro. And I know a good amount of people that
come
do,
on,
bro.
dog.
I know a good amount of people that do. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing?
And it's just a pastime, and that
throwing this shit with games.
But and I get it's the pastime and everything, but that goes back to saying how a lot of people don't think of anything where it's past their work. They don't think of anything past going to their job. They think like, okay, I'm just going to do this, pay my bills. No big deal. No worries. You know what I mean? That's how I'm going to live my life. That's how I'm going to afford everything. They don't like to think of this stuff. They people get overwhelmed. It's like, nah, like what are you talking about, bro?
Nah, bro.
What are you talking about?
And it's crazy because I want to touch on that too. I'll be talking about that to people on my job. Like, I'll be asking, like, I'll talk about my like, my whole plan. And now people get off like, they're like, oh, look at Mr. Businessman.
You're doing too much.
You're bro, you're doing okay.
Too much. Like, all right,
okay, Mr. Successful. And I'll be like, bro, like, my fault. I have a fucking plan. Like, sorry, I want to be something. Be successful. Like, sorry. But and then like I'll talk to people about it. Like, I'll try to have like, oh, Bird, you know you could do this and that, or like blah blah. And bro, I'll just see the interest of the conversation like just disappear.
They're like, okay,
dying.
okay.
Yeah, bro. Like there's
nothing for them to give.
Yeah,
you
and
know
I'm
what I mean?
just like, bro, like the fact that you can't grasp what I'm trying to tell you right now is like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. And then I have to realize like I can't get mad, because then like I have to realize like not everybody is like thinking like this.
Yeah.
People are genuinely like literally okay with just wake up, work, wake up, work, wake up, go to sleep, work, wake up, go to sleep, work. Like that cycle just boom, 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 boom. And they think that like one day they're just gonna wake up in a better spot.
It's like people a lot of, I think what I laugh about is how a lot of people, like, even let's say like TikTok, for instance, you know what I mean, like, because obviously it's like, obviously we all have, like, sometimes we'll scroll through that shit where I'm not saying like nobody does it. I mean, just fucking understand how you're using your time.
Just be aware that you're I'm fucking scrolling.
Yeah, and exactly. But pretty much what I was gonna say, I laugh when people, like, I see videos and shit of people are like, oh, like me thinking or telling my family I'm gonna be the billionaire in my family, but I still don't even know how. Like the fuck, what do you think? You're just gonna wake up and you're gonna this shit takes time. You gotta build this up. You know what I mean?
Literally formulate a real plan.
Yeah.
Reading is super essential because a lot of those books talk about and help you create a plan. But one of the books that I recommend is Think and Grow Rich. And a part of the book, it talks about having like creative imagination and then like real imagination.
But one thing I will say about reading though is that obviously it's great if you're able to actually sit down and read a book, because I love reading as well, but only like educational things. But you got to remember, reading is not action. Yeah. You actually have to get this, digest it, and apply it. You can't just read it and think you're doing good with your time.
People be like sitting down and watching YouTube videos and taking notes. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, like that's definitely beneficial. But like you can only do that to a certain extent, and then you gotta apply that shit.
Yeah,
like,
you just have to apply it.
And that goes with anything. Like you could, research shit before you get into it for sure. Get yourself educated and get a general understanding. Yeah. But then once you're good, like you gotta go.
Because the majority of what you're gonna learn is through hands-on doing it yourself. Exactly, you know what I mean?
And sometimes you need to fail to learn.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's a part of shit. Like, like bro, we launched a product and that shit was a fucking that was a flop.
And it's all good. We learned. You know what I mean?
We learned from it, and we're about to launch another product. Yep. So realistically, it everything. It doesn't have to be I always say this, bro. Like, not everything has to be a failure. If you look at it as a learning experience that you can just apply to the next run and do things the right way, like, it's not a failure. Like, nothing is like I took a L. Like, nah, bro, we don't take L's. Like, they're just learning experiences.
Exactly.
We just know what to do right the next time we go about doing things.
Yep.
And that's and that goes into the mindset shit too, bro. Like, if you could think like that, then that's just more steps ahead to success, really.
And then even coming down to the mindset thing, something obviously I know you want to talk about was being sober versus like smoking, dealing with weed, like being high, like how do you, let me just put it this way, how do you personally feel when like the difference of like when you spark up or whatever, you blaze and then you get down to working, you know what I mean? Like, how is that? Because we could go off of two different spectrums, you know what I mean?
I mean, I hear this shit all the time, bro, like with everybody. Like, everybody's different. I understand that. Like, I personally haven't really met somebody that's kind of like me. Yeah. But maybe that's just because I have a lot of shit going on in my life outside of this shit that it helps with. So yeah. But yeah, dude, like I don't know, I do smoke a lot. But yeah, I don't see it affecting me as a person, just because, like I said, when you ask me like how do you get around laziness, it's just simply that I don't get around it because I don't go through it.
And you know what?
I know that like I just don't do, like, I know I have to get shit done, so I do it. Yeah. And like when I smoke, it's because I just like, I like to smoke. Like, I don't know.
And you know what?
It helps me. Like, I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little anxious throughout the day and shit. Like, I haven't pinpointed a reason as to why I do get like that. But I do get like that. I don't weigh a lot. Like, if people know me, bro, like, I'm not the heaviest fucking person. I'm pretty skinny. And I'm 20 years old, so I haven't ever really, like, weighed that much. So my appetite hasn't always been the best. So it definitely helps with that. So yeah, so like it never like, and I've taken breaks before, like, and I've still gotten the same amount of work done, and I've just came to the conclusion, bro, like if you're the type of person to let a substance, like, weed can't walk, bro, weed can't like, we can't talk, weed can't put itself in your hand, weed can't take itself, like, it can't do nothing. Like, if you want to smoke weed and be lazy, bro, you're gonna do that. But if you want to smoke weed and get shit done, bro, I do that. Like, I smoke weed and I get shit. Like, look it, bro, I have a clothing brand. Like, we do drop shipping. We have a marketing agency company. Like, we talk about so many forms of success that we're gonna start in the future. We talk about our minds like this. What we're doing right here, everybody sees how I think, my mindset, your mindset. Like it doesn't prevent me from getting shit done. So I think honestly, like I can't speak for anybody. Like, oh, you should smoke weed. Like, oh, yeah,
it's
you should
really
smoke weed you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of it affects everybody differently.
Exactly.
Like personally, I can't do it, bro. Like I'll get super fucking lazy or something. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like I'd rather just be sober because I have such like a clear thought process going into everything. I like having my mind just constantly flowing. But obviously, at the same time, that could happen with someone who obviously like you, for instance. Like if you do it, like it doesn't affect you to the point where it's like you can't fucking think. You know what I mean? You could flow and you could still do your day. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I find myself getting like moments of like even like today I told my girl I was with my girl today and I was driving, and I told her I was like, sometimes I feel like I have these moments to where like I can create something in that moment and be super fucking successful. Like I told her I was like, it's fall. What if I pinpointed a city that the leaves fall in so fucking much, and there's just leaves all over everybody's lawn, and I went there, started a leaf raking business, make like $1 million, and then leave the town.
Yeah.
Like, and in that moment, bro, like I had so much confidence in myself. Where like, bro, I could do that shit.
Yeah,
like, I could do that shit next week, and fucking like, bro, I'll be up and running.
Yeah.
And like. I don't know, and I always have shit like that, and I like my clothing brand, bro. Like not many people know, like bro, like I sold my car, bought a dog, and then some shit fell out. Like I breed Frenchies, you know, some shit happened with me and my grandparents would do it. But I had to sell the dog, and I bought a little Honda, and then I was starting my clothing brand, but then like I wanted like a big push, and then bro, like one day I just had like a thought. I was like, fuck, like. I'm gonna sell my car. I'm gonna invest some money in my clothing brand, and I'm gonna take this shit serious.
Yeah.
Bro, I sold my car, and I invested in my clothing brand. Bro, I just told you like I only have like 5 left. I sold out the shorts. I sold out the hoodies. Like basically like, and everything that I wanted to do, I did it, and I executed that shit, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, oh, weed helped me do that.
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no.
not saying like nothing like that.
Let me.
I didn't I was still smoking weed.
Yeah.
Like I was still waking up every day. I was doing what I had to fucking do, but I was still smoking.
Let me put it this way, it's not a matter of it is a matter because it's obviously, like I said, it affects people differently.
Yeah,
but it's really a matter of, are you a disciplined person?
Exactly.
Or are you someone who just fucks off?
That's
you know what I mean?
I'm so happy that you said that.
It all relies on, are you disciplined?
That's
you know
key.
what I mean?
100%.
That's really all it is.
Literally what it comes down to. Literally, if you're a disciplined person, I honestly think you'll be fine. Like you'll be good. But if you're not a disciplined, you can only be the decider about that. Like I can't be the one to say like, oh yeah, Jace, based off what I see, you should be fine because you seem pretty disciplined.
And it's like, it's really a matter of like, like the best thing for the majority to do, like, bro, just lay off that shit. You don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? But it's like, it really depends how you came up and like just what you're used to habits. You know what I mean? It's like, obviously, even for you, it's not like you don't even view it as like, oh, this is why I do it because I want to flow. No, you just do it,
bro.
You know
I don't give a substance that much energy. Like
Like it's just there. You don't even think about it. You know what I mean?
If it was fucking my life up crazy and I was slipping up and fucking off,
and I'd tell you like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, fool? You know what I mean?
People would call me up.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give it that much. We're like, oh, bro, should I stop? Like, like, bro, I don't give it. Like,
you do the shit you gotta do. You know what I mean?
I focus on what matters. Like, if I want to stop, then I'll stop. But right now, like, I'm cooling. Yeah. And I get my shit done. So if you could do that, bro, more power to you. But like, I can't speak for everybody. Yeah. But like, that's my point of view on that for sure, bro. Like, I like to smoke. I do what I do. Like, like that's just me. But like I'm also very, and you know me, bro. I'm very serious about my business.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I like to get shit done. But like that doesn't keep me from doing that.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, like you said, bro, it's definitely how disciplined you are. And and like if you're a lazy person at heart, bro, it's only gonna amplify it. Yeah. But I feel like if you're a I definitely feel like this. I'm a creative person at heart. I definitely don't like to conform to the norm. I like to think for myself and go out the box, and I definitely think it amplifies that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely, it's definitely an interesting subject. I asked a lot of my coworkers about that, and I see a lot of people like when I bring up weed, they like oh what, like like get all like weird about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I could do a little like what? I'm gonna do that. Like I'll be smoking here. Woo, I get a little something. And like they get all little like kiddish.
Yeah.
When it's just like, bro, like you make me not want to smoke a joint with you. Like, you make me not like if you were cool about it. Like if you, it's very few people that I've met were like, oh yeah, like I smoke, bro. Like it's pretty cool. Like oh, it's cool. Yeah, we've made match up sometime.
Yeah, because
that's it.
Yeah,
but people like go into like oh yeah, I smoke. Like yeah, I get a little
lit, because like, it's not like you're doing that. You're not doing that shit to be cool. Like, you don't give a fuck like that. Like
and the crazy thing, bro, I've always said that to my parents, bro. Like my mom, she's found out when I was like, bro, my mom, my Nina, like everybody damn near knew I was smoking since high school, bro.
Yeah.
And every time I've been caught, like I would always tell my mom, like, bro, like I'm not in the bathroom with all the fucking kids like in a circle, passing my pen around. Like, I'm not out there like, oh look what I got, look what I got. Like, bro, like I ain't gonna lie, I'd be smoking in the bathroom when I was at school. But like I went in there, bro, did my shit, bro, and I was out. And like I just kept to myself. Like I was never one to be all like all wild. Like, I just kept to myself and got out. Like there was moments where I fucked up and shit like that, and that was when I was not thinking like this. Like when I was fucking up, I was not having this mindset. Like, and it was very recently when I acquired this mindset.
So. Are you fucking serious? Oh. There's no way. Are you fucking serious, bro? I'm pissed. Bro, why the fuck did it turn off? What the fuck? Dude! Alright, we're back after a quick little intermission.
Fucking camera.
So pretty much the bitch ass camera wasn't recording for at least like 50 minutes of it.
Basically the whole fucking thing.
Fucking shit. But at least the audio's there. But so we're back right here at least. Yes. Where you guys can see us. Anyways. Let me go back out of this shit. Okay. So we left off at I wanted to bring up motivators though. So let's go off what are motivators that like kind of get you going? Like how do you just keep doing the things you do? Like instead of, obviously it goes off of straight discipline. I know that, and obviously just building the better habits, but why do you do it? Just
one of my biggest things, bro, is kind of being an example to my sister that she doesn't have to like go to school and be like a fucking doctor to like make everybody proud of her or like shit like that. Like she could do anything she wants to do as long as she takes the time to educate herself on it and learn, build the foundation, and then apply it. She can do anything she wants to do. Singer, whatever the fuck she wants to do, she can do it. And I just, that's kind of why I go so hard in doing the things that I do, is because I really want to be an example that she can do what she wants to do.
Okay.
And then just for the simple fact is I've just never been one to like be satisfied with like a basic ass job, a basic life, just basic things. Like I've never been one to be like satisfied with that. I've always wanted more. I've always questioned things. Like that's just always been who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just kind of always led me to keep going, because like I had no other option. Like I wasn't gonna be depressed and unhappy.
Yeah.
With my situation, because if I didn't keep going, I would just be depressed and unhappy. So I could either be depressed and unhappy, or I could keep going to something positive
and successful. It's funny that you say that, because a big part, even like my motivator, is like, look, like I'm getting into all this stuff. What am I gonna do? Backtrack?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna just keep going forward, and I'm gonna make it out of it. You know what I mean? Like there is no other option. That's the best way to put it. And even for myself, it's more so a matter of going off what I said earlier. You know how I was talking about when it comes to my family, just taking care of my people. You know what I mean? So it goes off of that. But even just seeing the people around me, it's like how they struggle, and just even to pay rent or do this or that, and then because that's the kind of life we grew up around, I want more. I don't want to just be stuck in that trap anymore. You know what I mean? A big motivator, I would even say, is my mother. Just like, it's kind of a prime example of seeing how you could put in all this work, but you still at the end of the day get fucked by the system. You know what I mean? It's like you just got to take things into your own hands, and nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna reach out and just do the work for you. You gotta carve that path out yourself. You know what I mean? That's all it comes down to.
No, in fact, you definitely do have to take initiative because no one's gonna do that shit for you. 100%.
Yeah. Let's see what other topics we got. We're gonna talk about. You know what I feel like it's the time for.
Yeah.
Because we talked about laziness, we talked about all that. So let's get into working out. A lot of people, obviously, at least with you, we got things where we're busy and we're still up and at it, you know what I mean? But a lot of people are just, they're not doing shit, not even taking care of themselves, not even working out, you know what I mean?
Even the food we eat as well.
Exactly, yeah. So I want to say, I feel like working out personally is something that definitely benefited my life beyond just being in shape, you know what I mean? It's beyond all that. It makes myself feel better. It puts my mind in the right place. If I don't work out in the morning, I don't get started. You know what I mean? It's kind of like every day you gotta go to church. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like every day you gotta literally go to church, but I'm saying it's kind of like that's where you go and that's where you feel at home for a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's where you really feel like, okay, I'm starting my day here, and then you just kind of let everything else flow after you've already started working out, because it's more than just going there, oh, I want to get big, I want to get strong. It's more so a thing of, like we touched on earlier, discipline. If you could get up and you keep going every single day, obviously it's
the way you show up to one thing, you're gonna show
up to everything else in life. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
100%.
really just staying disciplined with that, and I feel like it's like I said, more than just working out. It's to get your mind flowing and just getting that right mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with you on that. But yeah, no, definitely I've been wanting to start working out for a while. It's one of those things that I've kind of been putting off just because I don't know, my eating isn't on point right now. So I'm taking steps towards a better lifestyle in that aspect. But yeah, no, I try to focus on right now. What I'm trying to focus on is eating right. I'd stop drinking dark sodas. I really stopped drinking soda in general. Just the other day was like the first time in a while that I had Sprite or any soda again. And I stopped eating like just greasy, like nasty fast food. I tried to be mindful of what I'm consuming, because you are what you're putting in your body.
Of course.
You know? So I definitely been trying to focus on that. I've just been trying to get on a solid eating plan right now, 3 meals a day, because before it was really hard for me to get 3 meals a day. And now I'm just starting to do that. So, but yeah, no, I definitely do want to start doing one of those things for sure.
Yeah.
Working out, but yeah, no, I can definitely see how that's super important. That's one of the things I was gonna bring up, is the discipline thing, because you're showing up to that every day, handling that, and then getting started with your day. So I definitely could see how that's making, like, oh, if you could do that, you could do this. Like reading every day, or working on your business every day, or whatever it is, because you're showing up to one thing, you can show up to the rest.
Exactly. And it's kind of a thing that really just builds character.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And even down to, like you said, when it comes to eating habits and everything, that's another thing. It's more than just going to the gym. Like, bro, you definitely got to do the part of eating. You know what I mean? You can't just work out and barely eat whatever. If you really want to put on size or whatever, you really got to eat and get down to it. You got to stay disciplined with that as well. You know what 100%. I mean? But I'm at the stage of my life where I work out, like, just obviously more so, like I said earlier, for the mindset thing. And I was super crazy when it came to eating and just bulking up and everything now. Then, however, now it's more so a thing of when I do, it kickstarts my day, and later on, when it comes to eating or whatever, I will eat in like the correct amount, as to at least maintain and even bulk up a little bit, because I generally do eat a lot. You know what I mean? So obviously, yes, like that comes into a factor, but I'm just not as intense, because there are a lot more important things I have going on in my life as well.
Nah, facts. That's for sure. I definitely understand. That's kind of one thing. That's why I'm not so as intense on it as well, because I definitely have a lot of things that are consuming my time right now. Not even just bullshit things, but just like we're starting this marketing agency. I got my clothing brand. We're doing the drop shipping product. I have a job. So it is a little bit hard, but it's not an excuse to get started.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely do have to get that started.
Of course. And you know what? Let's even touch up on the marketing agency a little bit.
Oh yeah, we could.
I forgot that's something we didn't even really talk about or discuss,
Yeah.
but pretty much, it's really a business where we came together and just formed kind of a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We obviously had our own things going on in the business world. You know what I mean? And we really just wanted to actually formulate a plan and execute a business that we could really see being successful. You know what I mean? Because
that will be successful.
Exactly.
Not even seeing it definitely will be successful for sure.
Exactly. And it's a thing where it's like we didn't even go into business just because, oh, we're cousins, we should go into business. You know what I mean? No, it was more so a thing like we see each other growing and we see each other on the mindset and the type of timing we're on. You know what I mean? We see each other actually like trying to get after it, and we could relate ideas. And when we link up, we're talking about money. You know what I mean? We're trying to figure out what's the next hustle, what's the next thing to do. And this is something we figured out, like, okay, this is our plan. We're going to execute it. So now we're starting a marketing agency together. And I really feel like this is something that's going to prosper than a lot of other things.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it's a business that, like, I hear a lot of people talk about in life. Like, one thing that you could truly be successful, that will bring you success, is creating something that will bring success to others around you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a business that not only will bring success to us, but will only do good and bring success to the people that we encounter and interact with. And anybody that chooses to work with us, it'll only bring you success.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's super beautiful as well, because not only that, like, you work with Amazon and we both do drop shipping, and you do acting, and you've met all sorts of different people through your actual job.
Of course.
And then I have my clothing brand. I do drop shipping as well. And then what's it called? And then I've met so many great people through my job as well. And then all the other business plans that we've been able to meet so many people. And it's really, I think it's geared us and prepped us for the basic knowledge and foundation that we need. That not even that we need, but it's like the perfect knowledge that will help you help the people that you'll encounter.
Yeah.
I think that all the things that we've done before this and went through will really give us that one up to help our clients that much better. Exactly. And I really only see us bringing success to people around us, because I think this is something that we kind of not only we have experience with, but we really know well. I've had my own hands-on experience with running ads on multiple platforms at the same time. Spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably even over like thousands on ads. So it's definitely something that we can bring help to people for sure.
And that's when it comes down to the point of like we were saying earlier, it's like people just go to the job, just work, and like that's all they think of. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, like you have to build these skills up. If especially going into business, we couldn't have done this if we didn't do what we did prior. We can't just do it because, okay, we see this is a new way of making money. You know what I mean? We only did that and thought of that after the fact. We have kind of like a resume, like,
we
for
got
ourselves.
all these, like,
you know
for
what I mean?
ourselves. Like we like, if someone came to me like, oh, like, how do you know this could be profitable? How do you know ads could work? How do you know this could work? Be like, oh, well, I have a business.
Yeah, like
I'm doing that for myself currently.
Like we have skin in the game. You know what I mean? It's not like we're just
Exactly.
going into this shit fresh. We actually could go off a foundation.
Exactly. And don't get us wrong, we're still fresh in the game, and we still have a lot more to go, but we're definitely not newbies. And I definitely can say confidently that we both have a really good general understanding of what needs to be done. And how to get there and how to get you there. And
that's where it comes down to, back to the original, discipline. We cannot do any of this if we did not have discipline. We could talk about it. We could say all we want, but we got to be about it, and we got to just take action. You know what I mean?
And that's exactly what we did, and we've been doing. We're almost, I would say, we're pretty close to starting to talk to clients. We're almost there. And I think once we do, I think that we're right once we start, bro, we're on the right path to success. I think this is something that has been getting us both pretty excited, and I think it's gonna be something pretty great, and I think everybody definitely needs to stay in tune for this, because it's gonna be something that's long term, and it's gonna leave a mark, for sure.
It's really just a matter of utilizing our time. Here,
No,
you know
facts. 100%.
And then we're just trying to do what we could do. Just
and in time, bro. Like I said, timing is everything. As long as
Yeah.
we take our time, we do the things that we need to do the right way, everything's gonna fall into place.
Yeah, of course.
So that's all it is.
And then that's another thing is that you can't always look for the goal. You can't always look for like the ending. You gotta literally fall in love with the process to even be able to continue to do this day in and day out.
Exactly. That's
you know
what makes
I mean?
you appreciate this shit and actually want to, like, the small, like, I always say that with the clothing brand shit, bro. Like, you should appreciate the journey and not just focus on, like, making sales, because if you just do that, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss all the small details that you should have focused on, and people are gonna notice that shit.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna look like, oh fuck, well, I didn't notice that shit because I was rushing through everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, no, it's definitely something that's gonna. I think that we've already done that. I think we've definitely fallen in love with the journey. I think we've had some pretty cool moments. I think where we're at right now with our agency, I think it's pretty cool, and even we got our logo today. I think, and the way it came out, that shit's pretty cool. So like I think it came out a lot better than I expected, and I'm excited to see that shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere.
Just that's really the goal, bro. Just fucking just making it into something bigger than we could have imagined. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then obviously just diving into other business ventures eventually when we get there, and then just obviously after we end up profiting a bunch off the marketing agency, and once we actually capitalize and get to a certain point, and then we'll start looking to other business ventures, and then I look forward to the process of just seeing what we get into.
And that's just leading more into the reason that we chose each other as business partners, bro, is because you definitely it's not that you need a business partner, but it does make things a lot easier for sure. It definitely does make things a lot easier when you're working on websites, when you're building brands and shit like that, when you want something to bounce ideas off of, and call you out on your shit when you're fucking up, and appreciate when you're working hard, like that's when it's really nice. And if you have someone in life that you can trust, and you know that you're not gonna fuck them over, they're not gonna fuck you over, and you both want to be successful, and you can just come together and be successful together, I think you definitely should think about utilizing that person as a business partner. Because I already feel like once we started this pact to this journey to be successful, bro, I think everything that we've been doing thus far has been great.
And it just goes further to prove, like, it's that you can't just say you're about it. You can't just do all this talk. You gotta just fucking be about it. You know what I mean?
Do this, and I think that's where people fall short. And I see all the time in Discord chats where, like, oh, how'd you do this? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? Or like, it's like, bro, like, we all got the same 24 hours, bro. And if I gotta tell you where to do this, like, where to do that, like, nobody told me.
Yeah.
Like, so if you can't even figure that out for yourself, bro, like, maybe you're not ready to venture into shit like that. Like, I definitely, it's like you have to have that initiative to get hands on, and if you don't have that, like, you need to find that, because it's very important when you're trying to become an entrepreneur.
And something I will say when you talk about everybody else, and like in the Discord chats, like asking like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? This, that, you know what I mean? I feel like another key thing to take in is that a lot of people, they live somebody else's dream. They're always trying to impress other people, and they're always like they're not letting them think for themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like you really got to understand, what do you want? Not what your family wants, not what your friends want. What do you want, and how do you want to live your life? Do you really want to get this fucking bachelor degree? And you know what I mean? Like, are you really going to college for yourself?
And vice versa. Do you really want to do dropshipping? Like,
exactly.
Do you even like that shit? Do you like the process of building stores? Like, do you even like making clothes?
Yeah.
Like I see people all the time that have clothing brands, bro. I'm like, bro, you don't even like making clothes. Bro.
Yeah.
You're just throwing shit together.
It's literally a matter, is it your own destiny, or is it one that somebody like bestowed upon
exactly,
you? You know what I mean?
Bro, like, and it's all, you just got to be honest with yourself, and really come to terms on what your goal is, what is success to you, and correlate what you have to do to get there.
Yeah.
Like, make a blueprint, make a plan, and
And
have
just
things,
execute,
yeah,
bro.
in depth. Because once you create a blueprint, and you have things written out in front of you of how to get to your end goal of what success is to you, then it puts things into perspective, and it really does help you start putting shit into motion.
Yeah.
Because if you're just out here just like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, like, bro, you need to just calm down, get your shit together, and like figure out what you really want to do.
And then that's where it even comes down to a lot of people stay stagnant. Either for one, because they're fucking lazy, you know what I mean? But for two, a reason you gotta, like how we come up with a plan. It's so we sift through the bullshit and we see clarity, because a lot of people will get stagnant and stay that way because it's an overwhelming amount of things they got to do. Like let's say you are successful, you were doing it for a minute, but then all of a sudden you just stop. The reason why it could be because you have so much in front of your plate. You're like, fuck, where do I begin? And you just don't even end up doing anything because it's like,
and that's
it's
when
too
I told
much
you.
on your
Remember I
plate.
told you the like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing trying to trade options? I was like, I don't want to trade options, bro. Like, I'm not that. Like, I have other shit I'm trying to focus on.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll pick this shit up when I want to pick it up. Like,
yeah.
And then I did, and here and there, like, bro, I trade here and there. I'll make a couple hundred here and there. Like, I'm not crazy into it, but I'll make a couple hundred here and there. But it's not like my main focus, because I came to a realization where it's like, this is not what I want to do. Like, I want to do this. And then I realized that, and I got this agency out of it.
Exactly.
Like, and this is what I want to do this. Like, I have joy in creating this website and going over this and creating shit with you, because I have a passion for it.
Yeah.
Trading, I didn't. And I wasn't going to become profitable in something I didn't really have any type of passion in.
And that's why you gotta literally just set your priorities, and then, because you can do all this and all that, but then what are you really going to get good at? You're going to get maybe 50% good at this. You're going to be 75% good at this, opposed to if you just double down, focus on, okay, I'm going to focus on this agency, and I'm going to focus on my clothing brand. Then I'm going to keep building those up. Those are going to be fucking solid as long as I double down on them, versus being like a jack of all trades and doing like this and that and this and that, and nothing fully grows. You know what I mean? So that's,
and timing's everything, bro.
Yeah.
If shit's really supposed to happen for you, and it's in line with the universe and what you want, like things that I heard of, this is another thing too. It's like your wants should be aligned with the things that the universe want for you, and if they are, like, it'll happen in time. But if you're trying to want things that are like out of line with the universe has in place for you, then it's like you're gonna run into a lot of problems. And I kind of found a lot of truth in that, because it's like, if you're trying to, like, you have no groundwork done, no plan, no blueprint, but you want a fucking Lamborghini and you want $1 million. It's like, bro, you want things that the universe don't have a line for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not ready for that.
You gotta get out there and fucking work for that shit.
Like,
you know what I mean? Nothing's just gonna hand out.
You should want a proper business plan. Exactly. You should want a successful business. You should want like a great business partner. Shit like that. Like, those are steps. And then once you like complete that shit, then you should want, like, oh, I want a successful business. Like, I want successful sales in this month. I want positive gross income. I want this and that and the third. I want a positive investor or whatever that. And then you get there, and then it's like, oh, I want the Lamborghini. You have to want things, like, your wants should be aligned with what the universe has in place for you.
And that even comes into play where, when you think about all these people working like these 9-to-5s and getting like their degrees or getting this and that, like, let me say this: if you want that, if that's really what you want, more power to you. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, that is a well-off, noble thing to do, is just work a normal job if that's what you're comfortable, content with doing. If you really want to do that and you're genuinely happy with that, then who cares? You know what I mean? Who the fuck is to tell you otherwise? But obviously, for the people who want more and genuinely enjoy it, then it's like, that's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. That's what we are talking about. That's who we're trying to speak to. Obviously, if you enjoy what you're doing, and, like, let's say you got a union job even or something like that, then fuck it, who cares? You know what I mean?
And that's another thing too. Like, the books that I've been reading kind of say, like, if you're gonna work a job and if you're gonna conform to that shit, like, you should work a union job, because it's like the only ones that are valued. You're actually respected. You have good benefits. You're taken care of. Shit like that. Whereas any little fucking job on the street nowadays, bro, they don't want you. Like that, you're replaced. Like, it's not shit for them.
And then that's the reason also why I say you got to build up your skill set as a person.
Bro. And figure out your worth.
Exactly.
What's your self-worth? Like, are you okay with your current situation? Is that all you're worth?
Yeah.
Or are you worth more?
Exactly.
Like change your situation if you're worth more.
Exactly.
And people think like, oh, it's easier said than done, and it's like, bro, I did it because I said it. Like if you say shit, like that's another thing that the book talks about. Think and Grow Rich is like saying things and then implementing real faith and emotion into the things that you're saying. Mm-hmm. And if you truly believe the things that you're saying and you're speaking out into existence for yourself and you're implementing real faith and you're praying about them and you're manifesting about them and you truly believe that you're really close, like I know that I'm gonna do everything that I say I'm gonna do.
Of course.
I know that. I know that I'm gonna be successful in life, whether it's next month or next year or in 5 years. I know that I'm gonna be successful. I know that I'm not gonna ever just give up and work a shit job. I know that. Like I know all of this stuff. I don't doubt myself ever for a second.
It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
When. and exactly, like, bro, like and I think that if people can think like that, bro, like it definitely it makes things a lot easier to get started. But if you can't if you can't grasp the concept of implementing faith and emotion to the shit that you're saying, like you don't believe yourself. Then that's where you need to work on.
Because it's funny you say that, because it's like you can say all this, you can say all that, but it's like, do you really believe in your work? Do you really believe in your own process?
Like, I believe that I'm great at making clothes. Like nobody can tell me otherwise. That and I can say that confidently, bro, because I take the time to focus on details. Mm-hmm. I focus on fabrics. I focus on the utilization of fabrics. I focus on shit, bro. I make my own size charts. I focus on details, bro, so I can confidently say like, yeah, bro, like I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like you can be confident like that. Anything you do, anything, bro, like playing soccer, whatever the fuck it is, cooking, whatever, anybody can be like that. It's just a matter of taking the time to educate yourself, build a foundation, and then apply action. And if you can do that, build a foundation, educate yourself, apply action, the confidence will be there. Like it'll grow itself. I really truly believe that. And then manifesting and praying or whatever it is that you do, just bringing daily confirmation that your goals are there and they're like literally almost in reach. Like I always remind myself like, oh, I'm so damn close to my goals. I can feel them. Like they're right there. Like I my lock screen, bro, are literally affirmations. Like I read this shit every day and every night before I go to sleep. Like literally, it's just a matter of having that confidence, like we talked about previously, implementing emotion and faith into the things that you say, and that's it, bro. Like if you can do that, then the people that are saying it's easier said than done, if you can do that, then bro, you'll see a whole change in everything that you do. Like, everything.
You can't be overwhelmed in everything that you do, and you gotta literally just, like you said, you gotta have belief in it. You gotta be about it,
and understand that you don't need to be successful by tomorrow. Like
that's what I was gonna say.
You're not gonna have shit figured out before you go to sleep.
Yeah,
you don't need to have your brand built before the end of the night. You don't need your website made before the end of the week, etc. All that shit. You don't need all that shit figured out in short time. All that shit's gonna figure itself out when it's meant to.
That's why it's funny because that's exactly the reason why it's not that it's not necessarily money, like how people, they want to be overnight successes, they want to be rich overnight. It's not even a matter of you can't, or no, well, okay, yes, you can't do it, but it's not necessarily a matter of like all that money isn't gonna just magically appear in your bank account, or like there's some fortunate thing that happens. It's really a thing of, over time, you're building up the skill set, you're building up everything, which is just leading you closer and closer. You know what I mean? It's really just about the journey, and nobody could prevent the journey. You know what I mean? It's bound to happen no matter what, and that is the reason why it takes so long, because you got to go through trials and tribulations, mainly because that's the only way you're gonna reach the final end goal. Like, I can say I want $1 million, and then even if I knew exactly how to get it, there's going to be a journey involved because of the fact of how I need the skills. You know what I mean? I need the skills. I can't just fucking do it because say I got to the point I got that million, I'm not even going to know how to keep track of that exactly. how to manage it, what to do with it.
Make it multiply.
Exactly.
Like remember the question I asked you earlier was like, if people were given $8 million, $10 million, do you think that they would continue life? Like, trying to make more, or do you think that they would have it all figured out?
Yeah.
And half of, like, 99 probably would be a safe number to say of the world would blow that fucking money. And probably end up in the same position they were before, or in a worse position.
Yeah.
Because people that come into a large sum of money like that, or like even just people on the street nowadays, or in the world nowadays, like, don't know how to, like, manage money to make it, like, make more for them. Yeah. Or if they come into a large, like, start making money like that, their habits change. So it's not like they're making more, they're just spending more because they're like income increase. So it's like all that shit that is super important to definitely educate yourself on and learn, because but like not a lot of people are aware of shit like that.
And then really it comes down to, you got to realize our reality is different than somebody who is a multimillionaire, has like tens of millions, hundreds of millions. Like, our reality is different than theirs. We invest in things different from them. You know what I mean? It's like every dollar sign you get more added to your bank account, it's putting you in a different position in life, that you got to realize that you got to continue to adapt and grow. You gotta be sponge like, to the extent of you can accept change, and you will constantly just go and go and go. And it's like a lot of people fall behind of this world because it's forever changing. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is staying the same.
They'll get a little bit of money and then be like, "Oh, I'm good. I can chill."
Yeah, it's like,
chill, like,
and then next thing you know,
they fucking like, "Oh fuck,
yeah,
I gotta work again."
And then next thing you know, in a year from now, things are gonna be a lot different. A lot of people, like, ignore the change instead of embracing the change.
Oh, bro, there's a big fucking change coming.
Fuck yeah.
People are not ready for that shit at all. Like, they're not fucking ready. Like,
and it's literally either are you gonna act like everything is okay,
exactly.
and you're just gonna stay stagnant.
I honestly feel like, bro, a lot of people are saying this, bro, but the people that are able to make money online or at home, or like creating a service or selling a product,
it's the new wave. Like, it's like it's how everything is going. Those are the
people that are gonna be able to get through this bullshit, and I think that's people are not ready to hear that.
And it really comes down to traditional business, like the getting an office, getting a whole crew together, you know what I mean? Having employees on a regular fixed salary and everything. It's such an outdated idea now, because everything, think about it. I'm 18, you're 20, we're literally like practically kids in the game, working on shit that people would have back then taken years and years to even get to this point. You know what I mean? We could start a business with only 2 people versus back then you couldn't do that shit, bro. Like, you had to have a whole team and orchestrate it.
Like, as fast as we're starting it right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
The resources are so different.
Exactly.
And people do not take advantage of those resources right now.
And because we have everything right in front of us, whether we need the education through even just videos on the subject, looking up anything we need, all the information, it's all here. You know what I mean? And a lot of people just don't utilize it. That's why a lot of people are stuck, because they are just lazy. When in reality, all these people where you see, like, video wise and all these other successful people that like, let's say we watch videos and look up to, you know what I mean? They're making 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, fucking even 7 figures, all through the same laptop that we have. So exactly. What are they doing that we aren't?
Resources, it's literally on how you're trying to use it, bro. Like, you can use it to fucking get some dopamine and satisfy yourself real quick, or you can use it to create some shit meaningful and become successful, bro. Exactly. And it's all on you. Yeah. And I think that's where we should end it, because I think we're getting pretty long, huh? Yeah. But yeah, like, to ending it off, like, it's all on you. Like, the viewer, it's all on you.
No one's coming to save you.
No one's gonna make the change for you. No one's gonna push you to do it. It's literally all on you. If you want to be mindful of how you spend your time, or you don't want to be mindful of how you spend your time, if you want to choose to grow and educate the most important thing and asset that you own, which is your mind, you can do that, or choose not to do that. And you can learn about the resources that are available to everybody in the world, or you could choose not to. And that's where the difference is going to be. Like, you could choose to be the difference or not. and but you do have to keep in mind the one thing that we stated earlier in the podcast was like like the regular man isn't like the rich man, like the rich person, I should say, man or woman. The rich person isn't scrolling on TikTok all day.
Nope.
The successful person isn't scrolling on Instagram, posting reels and shit like that all day, or trying to see what everybody's doing, posting on Snapchat. Like the successful person isn't doing that with their time. They're educating themselves. They're reading books. They're learning how to create a business. They're creating services. They're learning how to make money online, etc. Yeah. Those are all the things that a successful person is doing, like learning, educating themselves. So that's one thing that I want to say is like if you're on the fence, or not even on the fence, but like you're not sure how to start, or not confident in yourself to start, definitely I would say one thing to do is maybe just start reading. I think reading definitely helped me open my mind to what's available out there, what's available to everybody, and it completely changed the way I think, for sure. I was completely sleep on reading. I was not hip. Like I wouldn't say I wasn't hip, but I wasn't utilizing it how I should. And now that I am, it's definitely something that everybody should be using.
You know what, real quick before I end it though too, one thing I will say is if you're really feeling lost out there and like not knowing what to do, and even you're still young, I'm only 18, like I said, obviously, so I just recently graduated high school. Up until my junior year, I really didn't think about money like that. I always thought, obviously, I wanted to do acting. I always thought there was a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, of course, but I didn't even know how I was going to get money to begin with. Like, all this stuff is still fresh and new to us. You know what I mean? Like, we still don't even know fully to the extent that we could go. And it's really a matter of, if you feel lost, if you feel like you don't know what to do, trust me, just keep trying. You're eventually going to get to that point, but continue to educate yourself beyond the regular system that is implemented in front of you.
And don't give up. Like either. If you're confident in what you got going on in your business plan, like don't give up. Just keep going. Like that's what I said earlier. We don't take L's. Like they're just learning experiences.
Exactly.
And then we take from that what we need to apply to the next experience and do better.
Yeah, and
that's just how it is.
It's really even coming from the fact of we don't take L's, we take it just as learning experience. No matter what you do, and you just got to keep trying and see what eventually clicks. You're never going to get it until you just keep on trying and trying and trying, and you just see, okay, this is actually what I genuinely want to do. And a lot of you actually probably already have a certain passion. Now you got to figure out how to utilize it and capitalize it where you can get profit off of even just doing simple shit. You don't have to think like, okay, everybody has this desire where they got to go and do it through a regular go to school for it, and they gotta
get a good degree.
And they gotta get a job. No, you could. Let's say you wanted to do something. Let's say like therapy, right? You could go to school. You could go the route, get hired as a therapist. You know what I mean? But nowadays, dude, you could literally just do this shit, make videos about it. You know what I mean? Make videos, and then that way you could do it from the comfort of your own home. And then you could let's say hypothetically post those online, or you could make meetings on your own time, and you could just be your own boss is what I'm pretty much saying. You know what I mean?
This is a time to, like I was telling him a couple weeks ago about this, like money went from being into like goods, like people were trading goods because that's where like value was being found. And then money went from that to being into the like factories, the industrial times of America. That's where the money was being made. And now money is being made off of handshakes, contracts, fucking laptops and phones. Like people are making money off of handshake. Like everything. Like money is being made off of creativity in your mind. How smart you are, how creative you are, everything like that. Like you could choose to be a part of that time, or you could not. And that's really what it's all about. Like I choose to be a part of that time. Like why wouldn't I want? Like I have a lot to offer. I know I do. Nobody is like me. Nobody's like you. Nobody's like him. Like nobody can do. Like somebody might be doing the thing that you're doing, but nobody could do it like you.
Yep.
Like nobody could do it like me. Nobody could do it like him. They could try to copy, but they can't do it like you. So you need to hold on to that. And you definitely need to like really, really hold that and value it, because I tell people that all the time. Like when they get discouraged, I don't know if I should do this and that. I'm just like, bro, like you're depriving the world from your service.
And it's a matter too of like a lot of people look up to these certain celebrities, like figures that they genuinely find influence from. It's like, oh, I want to be like them, I want to do this and that, but it's really a matter of, it's not what they want, it's not getting into that, it's how, what does Drew want? What does he have to offer? How am I gonna change the game versus just following in the exact footsteps of somebody else? The only reason they're so they have such an influence on everyone and people like to listen is because they're their own person. They're not just the shadow of somebody else.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think that's where we should end it. And then pretty much in simplified terms, it's you gotta kick the laziness and cut the bullshit. That's really what it comes down to, bro.
If you want something to work out, or if you want something to get going, like, you have to just simply do it.
Yep.
And if you can't fathom how to do that, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's not that hard. I definitely just think a little bit of education and reading goes a long way. I think just changing what you put into your mind, what you're watching, TV, shit like that, TikTok, just changing what you're putting into your mind, that will really help you see shit differently a lot as well, because that's what's really helped me. And I think, yeah, this is super cool. I really like doing this. Yeah. I think we definitely got to do another one of these for sure. Once our business, our agency is up and running. But yeah, no, this is I really like this. This was fun.
Yeah, and I appreciate the setup and everything for it. It was cool.
No, definitely.
And then I think that's it.
All right, man. Thank you for having me. But yeah, man, we'll catch y'all.